Today is the second lecture, and I'm going to again continue the same with a forest mensuration. As already I have defined that forest mensuration is very important to measure the entire forest. Now here, before that one, I would like to come on these two things called accuracy and precision, because forestry is not like a selling a gold or a diamond with a very precise and very accurate in weight. It is an entire forest with a different age group, with a different type of biomass, different type of shape, age. Some are small seedlings, some are poultry, some are big tree, some shapes are not good. How to measure it? But we have to be some relative accurate. Otherwise, how we will going to measure the entire forestry? Now I am going to go on this accuracy and something about the precision, so we should understand before we go to the continuing this forest mensuration. Now what is precision? Now when I talk of precision, is very precise. Now when there is a difference of precision, when I talk of precision, is like observation around the long run of mean. Now what do we mean? I'll come just now. And what do you bias? Bias means you are inclined to one particular what you like. So when we call a bias, it is like a difference. What is difference? Difference between the long run average of observation and the true value. So we are lingering around the true value, but not in the true value. Okay, we are inclined to what we like that one. It's biased. Now when we go to accuracy, it refers to how close we are now to the observation. We are a bit close to the observation, but okay, now let's come to this picture. Now if you see this picture, then we see this precise. See, we are here, all our observations are here a bit, but we are precise, coming together somewhere, but we are not in the target. Now when we go to accurate, see, it is not precise but around that target. Now it is around the target. Now when we combine this accurate and precise, then we come to the exact point. This is very difficult here now. When we come to precision and accuracy also, it is very difficult, but we try to come in forest. It is some relative accuracy at least, so that we don't go in much loss by selling the wood. Now when we say this accurate and precise is ultimately unbiased. So when you go to unbiased, then when we go to accurate and unbiased, then we can come to some reality. Now when we see this is biased, it is going very far from that. What is your target? Okay, now forest mensuration aims at reasonable accuracy. Now I say reasonable accuracy means here reasonable accuracy is somewhere to some extent we are right, we are not in the loss, because measuring the entire forestry is not an easy job, and that in very accurate and precise manner, it is not an easy job. But at least when we come to some reasonable accuracy, then which we can get some profits, and that profit we need it. That's why mensuration we do it. Okay, one more thing I want to come on this some rounding off, because we get some data. Every time when we get data, it is not like that very biotechnology or nanotechnology. Here we have to go for some round off. That is some type of rounding errors will occur, but that is in the positive only. See, like this is when you go rounding off, this is when we see the number 4.6.4.95, we are round off to 4.6.50. Further we round up to 4.65, and last we are rounding to 4.6. Like this we can round off also. So relative accuracy and rounding off we have to do in this forest mensuration. Now some reasons compel the foresters to go for relative accuracy. We should also know why we are going to relative accuracy, because see, you can see the shape of a tree and all the many things are there. Like when we talk of this, one is called broadleaf. I think people know broadleaf means angiosperms, and these are conifers, means softwood. We know, but their shapes are different, their behaviors are different. When we go to these hardwoods or we go for angiosperms, we know that you can see this is entire, we divide it timber, A timber from here to here, then B timber from here to here, then C timber from here to here, D we go here, but you see D wala we are getting very less of this timber here. Here we can use for pulpwood. We also call it as a crown wood. Okay, we also call it as a crown wood. But from here from A to at least C, we go for the log length. This is what we get, log length. But it is very different. So we have some natural limitations. Natural limitation. It has that behavior. It will branch. It will go for tapering. So this is very difficult. That's a relative accuracy is very needed here. But when we go for conifers, you can see there is no natural limits here. We can, some conifers we can get log length up to very height. Even crown finishes here. But we have to go, we can get a log up to here. So there's a difference. That's why relative accuracy is very, very important. Another is characteristics of a tree. Because see, geometrical shape of a tree is very different in A, B, C. When you see this geometrical difference, then you can see A is somewhere paraboloid here, then B is very high, very in base it is too broad, and then slowly going here like a conical. So lot of wastage is here. So we get very less cylindrical, or volume of timber is very less here. Then when we go to this shape, lot of branching is here. So geometrical shape, they are widely in size. Due to this also we go for relative accuracy. Then another reason is maximum of your forest is in the hills and mountains. So in the hills and mountains, again when we fell down, so it is not easy job to fall down. What we do ultimately when we do felling down, see when we cut down, lot of loss of wood is here. And when due to this loss at different heights we cut down, so accuracy we cannot measure. So some of that we have to compromise. So that's why we go for relative accuracy on this one. Another reason for relative accuracy is instruments. So I'll come in the coming lecture. There are a lot of instruments how to measure the height, then volume, and so and so and so. Those instruments are also having some of that. Like shaking, when we shake, this is called Abney's level. This is an Abney's level, for example. And from here we see we see the height of a tree, and then we go for trigonometric method and do it. Here is one due to some shakiness. This is a syntoclinometer. Due to some shaking, some of that variation will come, and due to that variation, some of the accuracy we cannot fix that precise one. So there is some relative accuracy we have to depend on, because and on standing on the hills and the terrains also, it gives us lot of difficult for us to get the accurate, very accurate result. So instrument is also another reason for that one, that like shaking while using, or some depression, or this difficult terrains we are taking that height and dia. So that some relative accuracy we have to consider on that one. Other one is called personal bias. What do you mean by personal bias of estimator? Suppose we are taking some reading, there is some biasness by a forester, biasness by a researcher, biasness by a student. That is also going for some of that errors, and some relative accuracy we have to go. Other one is called biological character of the forest. Now what do you mean by biological character of the forest? See, there is a climatic factor which gives an impact of that growth. There is a edaphic, topographic, same area, same species, same plantation, but due to some microclimate effect or some climate soil effect, some growth of the same age will be very, very different now. Not only that, somewhere trees are growing in congestion, and somewhere insect pest disease, there is a attack of that one, again the volume will be less, or again the biomass will be less. Again we have to go for relative accuracy. So biological character of the forest is still there. Then sometime there is to which use we are putting that entire forest. If we are meant that forest for fuel wood only, and we have no need to go for that accurate. Because when we go for sampling, or when we go for measuring the trees, it involves lot of money, lot of labor. So that is also one reason when we go for the use, if it is not of good use, or if it is not of that valuable, then relative accuracy is again there. Then the cost. When I talk of cost, because volume of a tree is not a finished product, and for estimating the volume of a stand, the cost will rise in making much accurate. So either we keep on measuring the entire, if it is a sandalwood forest, then it's okay, we will spend the money for measuring, because that is a valuable. That cost will be involved in measuring the tree, measuring the stand. But when we talk of simple timber, then also we depend on the accuracy, relative accuracy. Then let's talk of something. Before I start the entire mensuration part, I will talk of some units, because units is very important in mensuration or measurement. So there are two type of units which will be going. One is called FPS system and one is called CGS system. Now what is FPS system? I think everybody know. This is very simple. British system is called FPS system, and foot, pound and second is called FPS system. And what is French or metric system? It is centimeter, gram or seconds or meter or kilogram. This is called French or metric system. And maximum early days we were following more the British system. Now we are going on this metric system also. I think this is British. 12 inches is equal to 1 feet, and 3 feet is equal to 1 yard, like this metric system. And then we can convert also, conversion also we should know how to convert this one. We can convert the British into metric and metric into British. Now these things are very simple. In a simple smartphone, mobile, you have this system to do it. Now the main objective of measurement is individual trees to be estimate the quality of timber, firewood or any other produce. What we will be doing is diameter and girth measurement. When I talk of diameter, what is diameter? When I talk of girth, what is girth? We should know about that. Then we'll talk of height measurement, then measurement of log and fuel wood we will be talking. Now that's why the linear dimension, you can see this is the height, this is the bowl height, this is the crown up to here. We should know about the linear measurement of that one, because commercial bowl is important. When I talk of bowl, then always I'll talk of commercial bowl, because this will give us timber. Revenue is very, very important for the forestry to survive nowadays, because we need to get money, not only nowadays, though even from the carbon also we are getting money in the forestry. So that has to be measured. Now I'll also come how to measure that one. Now trees actually they don't grow straight. So when they grow, you see this is a butt, this is a butt, they will swell. Slowly when we go, the diameter will decrease. See, the diameter is going to decrease as we go in the top. Okay, so diameter not constant as it moves up the tree. So that's why we have to measure, but how much actual volume will come, that is the calculation. It doesn't mean we have a long tree but volume is more, because when we convert it, lot of loss, because you see lot of loss will go if it is a tapered one. If it is a cylindrical one, it is okay. That's why we will measure. Measurement is very important. Now the first important measurement is diameter. Diameter, I told you already, we call it diameter at breast height. D is diameter at breast height, we call it DBH. Now this at breast height, what is the breast height? We take it 1.37. This is a standard breast height, 1.37 meter from the ground level. We take it a breast height here. Okay, then what is GBH? The breast diameter is, suppose this is a tree, when we take diameter, this is a diameter. Okay, this is a diameter, DBH. But when we take the entire circumference of this tree from one end, we start from A and then we go around the tree and come back to this A again, and this one is called girth. We call it GBH also. Now that is why we are taking DBH, GBH. I'll come to this and I'll let you know. This is called dendrometer. By dendrometer we will be measuring, and this is a tree caliper. I'll come to this one also, tree caliper, how to measure it. There's some relationship between the DBH and GBH. Okay, so when we see girth, GBH, what is the girth? Girth is equal to pi into d, or we have to understand what is pi. Pi is 22 divided by 7, or the value is 3.142. And what is how to convert that one? If our girth, suppose if our girth is 40 centimeter, for example, this entire tree, from here we go A, and then we go to the entire circumference of this one by a tape, and then we come again back to A and we get it 40 centimeter, then simply we'll divide it by 3.142. Somewhere we will get around 12.73, we'll get 12.73. This 12.73 is the diameter. So this way, this is the relationship, we can convert it. Okay, we can convert it by dividing by 3.142. So simple. Now why GBH and DBH? Will come to this one. Why we are taking that GBH and DBH? There is some error which has been involved here. This is, so for example, this is a tree and at 1.37. Let's take it at 1.37. This is the entire. When it is a circle, then there's no problem. We can take by caliper, because we, almost these two diameter from A and B, this D1 and D2 will be almost not very much, variation will not be more. But when we come to this elliptical, So 1 is more, D1 is more, D2 is less. Okay, somewhere is irregular. So there are some error. Just because of that error and many other constraints, I'll be coming in the coming lectures tell you about this one. Okay, but why we are taking at 1.37? Why we are taking the girth or DBH, okay, at 1.37 meter? There are some reason. This is a convenient height. Actually, why I say convenient height? Because if we take at the base now, for example, if we take every time at the lower base, then this you will fatigue. You'll taking about 50 trees, he will feel fatigue and he will be tired. It is very difficult. Secondly, there are a lot of grasses on the lower side. It is how to remove in the forest grasses and then take that girth in this collar region or at the lower basal region. Then there is some buttressing. I mean to say swelling part, or it is some swelling part here, and it will not give you the accurate result. So that's why there are a lot of reason going down. So at this is a convenient height. 1.37 is convenient height. So easily you can take, you will not get fatigue. There is no grasses, there is no climber, there is no buttressing. So here we take the DBH or GBH. So in coming lectures, I'll be telling you how to take those measurement and what are the precautions we have to take. So thank you for this lecture 2, and I hope you all like this lecture and need your support for this one. Well, I'll be coming in the coming lecture number 3 next. Thank you.